Hello there, my name is Bruce Rain from Brankus Creations. Thank you very much for joining me today. It is Sunday here in Sydney, and what is that? About 11:30 and 25 degrees, and likely to get up to about 32 today, so yay! As usual, I will do my little hellos to everyone who has joined. So I say hello to Thomas, hello to Jack, hello to Luke, hello to GT, hello to LRK, Zbinek. Is that a Czech name? Just out of curiosity. ET Mods, hello. Josh Hayes, hello. Kai Robinson, just spoke to Kai a few moments ago. Hello, Kai. Enzo Fitzhume, hello. Fern Dog 1461. Joe Williams and Luke Davis, and Colin is here. This does not compute. Justin is here. Just spoke to him a few moments ago as well. Roger, Max, hello Max, 8WT, 8WIT, hello from Iceland, hello there, hello from Sydney, James Horton, hello, K McVintage, hello, Jay Ware, the bar must be closed. Yeah, no, it's, I promised I'd fix it, didn't I? It was out last time. Samplers, hello there, Chris FPV, hello from Belgium. There you go. So people far and wide. Recapping a PC during Marchintosh heresy. Well, there is a bit of a trick. So anyhow. Yes, I didn't put any form of Marchintosh advertising into this live stream at all, did I? Isn't that? That's very remiss of me. So I mentioned in my last live stream the bar sign was out, and I promised I'd have it fixed before the next live stream, but that promise didn't eventuate. Sorry about that. But I did clean my bench. So I cleaned my bench. It's like clean. It's awesome. Love it. And I even 3D printed a thing so that I can put my, this is my soldering iron stand on top of my soldering iron. So now it takes up a little less desk space. So I designed and 3D printed that yesterday. I have designed and 3D printed another little desk organizer. This one here, and I've got a little spot now for my alcohol bottle so that it doesn't keep falling on the floor, which it has been doing. And I've got all of my soldering iron tips up here as well. So isn't that dandy? So they're nice. They're much. I used to have a little holder for my soldering iron tips, but it was very difficult to use. And what else did I do? I found my TS100 soldering iron. So this is the TS101, I think it is. TS101 soldering iron. And this is the TS100. And this is a little 3D printed attachment, which you can, I think, just get off Thingiverse, that you can put onto the front of these to then allow you to use this part of the Hacko attachment. So you can just, undo this, theoretically undo this. It does come undone. But anyhow, the important thing is you can take... Oh, that's right. It's screwed in. I forgot about these ones. These ones are screwed in. So you have to undo the screw first. But then you can theoretically take a tip out while it's still hot. So anyhow, I lost this for ages, but I found it when I cleaned it. So joyous time. Where did they come from? I think that one was there. And that one was there. That sounds about right. Obsidian Xenon, hello. And yes, Max, you know what this is. And let's check and make sure. All right, okay. So it is starting to get a bit steamy here, so I'm going to turn on my air conditioner. I apologise if there's any excess noise. Now, it's probably... Oh, I'll tell you what we've got to do first. Mail drop. I got a box from Amazon today. Let's see what's inside. I love finding out what's inside boxes, don't you? It's fun. So, let's just change the view here for a sec. Let's try this top view. And there we go. We sort of go. There we go. Opening a box. What's in the box? What's in the box? What's in the box today? Bum. You know, if you're talking about the TS100 and TS101, the only thing I don't like about them is the friggin' interface. I get driven bananas by the fact they only have 2 buttons on them, and you have to long press and short press and double press and stuff like that. Just so annoying. Right, now, what we have here, I know what these are, a whole stack of anti-static bags, 30 by 40 centimeter anti-static bags. So I ran out of anti-static bags, so I bought some more, so now I can put boards in them, helps protect them. Incidentally, people may or may not know, there are 2 different types of anti-static bags you can buy, and there's a significant price difference between the 2. The first type, first thing to remember when it comes to anti-static bags is plastic bags create static electricity. So if you go and just grab a shopping bag or something like that and you go like this with it, you'll be creating static electricity. So you don't want to store things in that because you're actually storing it in something that creates static electricity. Now, there are 2 different types of anti-static bag. This sort here, this plastic does not generate static electricity. So if you wiggle it around and stuff like that, it doesn't create static electricity. And it has a certain level of protection from static electricity just because it is plastic. So, but if you were to hit this with, I don't know, 10,000 volts or 1.21 gigawatts, it would actually just go through the plastic and get what's inside it. So the other type of anti-static bag is one that A, doesn't generate static electricity, but also dissipates large amounts of static electricity from the outside. They are more expensive. So anyhow, anti-static bags, one thing I got here. So close to 500 subscribers. Excellent. Good on you. Justin, I'm very pleased to hear that. So if anyone wants to go over and subscribe and push him over that 500, feel free to do so. Hey, Peter. Haven't seen you in ages. Pitar, sorry, I should say. Pitar. Oh, look at that, Justin. There we go. I even got a super chat out of it. So yeah, everyone can just jump on there and subscribble. So, oh, look, I really should say, I'll mention it in a minute. So, what is this? This is a flexible arm. So this is what I'm actually potentially going to replace holding this camera up at the moment, because what I have at the moment is a bit sucky. So, this is cool. This is like, it's got articulated. It's articulated. Oh, wow, that's cool. I like the action on that. Oh, that's nice. Oh, yeah. So I won't have time to get this up for this live stream, but I'll be featuring this on my next live stream. Just you wait. Really should have. Yeah, I don't know what's the easiest way to do this. Barafantha, indeed. So this was actually remarkably inexpensive for what it is. So it can go right down to that. So if I put that up there, oh, that's going to work well. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I think, maybe, we'll see. Anyhow, that's coming. That's coming another time. So that's what was in the box. And then we've got a couple little attachments. I won't need another attachment because that is the standard. That's for a microphone. That's a microphone attachment, and that one is a smaller fitting, or is it? Oh no, it's the fatter one. That's the one for some cameras have a larger fitting there. Okay, right. Well, that's enough from what's in the box today. Let's now get on to some business. So put this over here. Oh, it'll be nice. It's nice. It's very nice. Yes, it's good. We like it. Yes. All right, now, a couple of things. The first thing I want to do is straighten the camera, move these things. I want to just go on here, onto there. So, first thing I wanted to say is very, very sad news from within the Vintage Mac community. With the news coming out of the passing of Michael Mullet. For anyone who's watched my channel long enough, he was someone that used to hang out in the chat quite a bit in the early days. Yeah, he passed away the other day, very sadly. So, just obviously, my thoughts are with the family, and just sort of passing on that very sad news. So, and what is the other thing I wanted to mention? Oh yes, I'm sure the news is out there at the moment. There are a lot of people that have been posting information about Geek with social skills. I can't really comment too much on what he's done, but he has been banned from the live chat of this channel, so you will not be seeing him participating in any live chats here. So, now Ron and Dave have posted videos about this recently. Now let's get here to the top view. Now this is the other thing I wanted to mention. This is the LC2 I was working on recently. And I have pretty much finished the resto on this. So all I've got to do is clean it a little bit, but ultimately this one is good to go, and I've got to put the little battery thingy on it and a battery in it. I'll put a nice fresh battery in there. I would like to stick a floating point unit in there, but I don't actually have one at the moment, so I will just sell this probably without, unless I can magic one up something. So what we did with this was recap the logic board, put on the floating point unit socket, so that's all good to go there. I gave it a good old clean in the ultrasonic cleaner. In my last live stream, we recapped this power supply, and we also cleaned up the floppy drives. The floppy drive's all been cleaned up. It's been tested. It's formatting disks, copying stuff to it, copying to and from, so that's great. And then we've got the fan and speaker, and now we've also got a Blue SCSI in there, and this is a Blue SCSI version 2. This is the 2023.09a, and I can tell you that this is apparently one of the best versions out there in terms of its design, but it's also one of the worst out there because it's the most expensive to get made because it is a 4-layer board. Having said that, I'm fine with the cost of getting these boards done, so I'm going to probably keep making this one because this one has the option for a micro SD card slot, and I like using the micro SD. And it also has a little, what do you call those things? USB-C connector there. So anyhow, it's cool. There's a little connector here, a little quick connector that apparently in future revisions is going to add some cool features to this. But anyhow. So that's all good. I've got system 7.1 running on there. I think that's a suitable system for a computer of this vintage, certainly using a 16 megahertz 68030 chip. But anyhow, that one's good. I am going to be getting that one ready for sale fairly soon, so that one will end up getting probably listed on eBay. Now, it is time. It is time to do the recapping. And it was a little bit of a trick because it is a PC technically, but it is an Apple PC compatibility card. So you are looking at the thing here now. There it is. Am I focused? I don't feel like I'm focused. Go to that, and we'll go to advanced, and we'll go to autofocus. There we go. So it's reasonably focused. So this is it. It is a PC compatibility card for the PowerPC range of computers. At least because it's not a real PC. It's got a real PC chip in there, right there, right there. We'll probably have to take this heatsink off because I will probably repaste it and ultrasonically clean it. Well, I have to ultrasonically clean it because I am going to get flux all over it. So we'll just take that. Oh, geez, it's stuck on there. Maybe I won't take it off. No, I won't take it off. It's staying there. Staying there for the trip into the ultrasonic cleaner. Do-do-do-do. So, yeah, sorry if that was a little bit of a... I don't even know what sort of chip it is, because what do I know about PCs? Nothing. I know they had like 286s, and then they had 386s, and then they had 486s, and then was there like Pentiums or something? I don't know. What do I know? I don't know, Jack. Yeah, they squeezed 19 caps onto this, which is one of the reasons I was going to get into this pretty quick, because it's going to take bloody ages. Hello to... Oh, there's people popping up I haven't said hello to. I haven't said hello to Kevin Nielsen. I haven't said hello to Nebulous Fox or Breezy. Hello, hello, hello. Thank you for joining. Right, so anyhow, we've got... I wish Steve was here. He'd be able to tell me more about this because I don't know squat. It is a PCI card, so it goes into... So, for example, I have a PowerPC 7300. Now, it's my understanding that you pop this into... Customer definitely should pay double. You pop this into the PCI card slot, and then this gets plugged into some other little socket on that computer, which is somewhere. Which I'm sure I've seen the little socket and gone, oh, what the hell is that thing? Oh, so that's what it's for. So we're going to take this off. I'll probably put these in a plastic bag so I don't lose them, because that's my thing. That's my thing. I did make up a rudimentary recapping guide for this one. I think that's it there. I hope that's it there. I printed it out. I did bring it down here, but I didn't double check that it's still here. So a little... Ah, hello there. Looks awfully small for a Pentium. It's not a Pentium. I don't think it's a Pentium. So I think it's older than that. I was actually hoping to find some information on this card. There's like a PDF flyer for it, but I haven't been able to find it. Let me just see. I might have it. I'll just check on my computer. Just check. Because I've got all of these guides, these instruction guide thingies. Let's go search for compat. That'll do. Name. Nope. Mac technical files. Apple formatters compat list. No, that's not it. Mac service guides. Service guide. Hello. I was right where I wanted to be. Mac service guides. Here we are. PC card maybe. No. No. Maybe. I don't know. Anyhow, if anyone happens to find any information on this, like on a website that I can share and bring up on screen for everyone, please let me know. Oh, Steve's here. Hello, Steve. So, Steve, can you tell me what's the name of that connector on the PowerPC boards? This little stupid little one. What do they call that thing? It's a stupid connector. Stupid. We've got these little plugs here that go to something. Look up the 820 model number. That's a good point. Yeah. Can't find it here. Here it is. 820-0728. Ah. No. No. Okay, and then I haven't got any of the safeties on here, so we just have to hope that no pornography turns up. So, search 820 -0728. Go. Apple Video Multimedia Card. That's in a discussion thread. 68K MLA PCI card. PCI card allows you to run DOS on an older machine under OS 8.5 and takes a dim, slow, specifically for the people. Not much. Oh, we've also got a Mercedes-Benz reflector. Let's not forget about that. Let's have a look and see what the 68K MLA says. Yeah, he's posts some photos on it. PC compatible card allows you to run DOS on older machine under OS 8.5. Takes a dim, slow, specifically for the P1. P1, does that sound right? Mostly like a Pentium 166. Most likely a Pentium 166. It's a 7-inch version. I have the 12-inch version, but nothing to connect it to. Anyways, you must use the same RAM that goes in the machine, not like PC 66, 100, 133, as normal PC RAM won't work. Google PC compatibility card. Google PC compatibility card for Mac. I did, and not much came up, so not useful advice. Anyhow, there we go. So that's it. It's a 5x86. Cool. That's, I'm sure that means something to someone. I don't know much about PCs. I do know that I can't stand using Windows. I have to use it every now and again for work. And there are things that just drive me bananas. And I suppose that they're just, I guess, some are just different. And some I feel like are kind of like, I really miss. Like, for instance, on the Mac, the thing called Quick Look, where you have a file and you just press the space bar and it brings up a preview onto the screen. That Quick Look, to me, I mean, not having Quick Look is a massive impairment for me. Intel stopped the text. Hello, Dana. Why are you here? Well, because you may even have one of these, Dana. You might, because you have the computer that this would go into, I dare say. Do you have a PowerPC computer with a PCI slot? Okay. Video GIM O or E. Okay, cool. That's what we're looking at here. Anyhow, so this is the special RAM. This is the that you need for this, I guess. I mean, it looks like a big one. Look at that. Look at it. Look at lots of chips. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 chips. There's room for another 2 there. I don't know what's going on. There we go. Look good. And then we have a grand total of 19 capacitors. We've got one little guy here, hiding in the corner there. Bing, 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 bing. Now, some of these are standard sizes, some are not. See, we've got here 100 microfarad, 6.3 volts. We have that quite regularly. Got 4716s, have that quite regularly. But then we've got 2235 volt. And then we have this one here, 220 10 volt. Craziness. I bought some caps for these, so I hope I've got them. Did I bring them down? Ah, here we are. So let's just check that to make sure that I did actually get them all, because I looked at the order, but I didn't really check to see. So we've got, what was it? 22, 35. Yeah, got that. And then, what was the other one? 22010. 22010. Oh, here we are, 22010. Right there. So, yeah, I did buy them all. And they're good. The tantalum's a lot smaller than the electrolytic for that one. I hope that's not a problem. I'm going to move these things out of the way. I cleaned my desk, but, you know, I just move things from point A to point B. Charlie Seibert, hello. Hello, saw your stream and thought I would stop in. I'm so angry I can't get a 4070 to work in a new AM5 rig. I don't understand why it quits displaying. I think it's just NVIDIA garbage. I am afraid I can't help you with any of that. That's definitely not my area of expertise. Hello to ET Mods. The 6100 had a new bus PDS, so that card was different, yeah. So, yeah, look, as I say, I do have a computer that I can probably test this out in, but I think that would take a bit of work. We'll see. I mean, you trust me, don't you, Max? Max, you trust me that this will just work first go? We don't need to test it, do we? It's not necessary. I got some new heat shields. Mind you, I won't be using them for this because this is such a wonky shape. Wonky. What I will be using is my aluminum tape. Mm-hmm. 6100 DOS compatible. You've got one of those, yeah? Hey, that's Dana. So that I need to make a little bit of space here and protect all of the plastic, because there's a lot of plastic on this friggin' thing. Lots. Many much. Okay, is this the recapping guide? Yay, don't look for this on the website, it's not there. But it probably will be later on. I love that. I don't know if anyone here's seen the movie Spinal Tap. I love at the beginning of that when the guy comes out, Muddy DeBergy, and he says, I first saw this band at a club called the Electric Banana. Don't look for it, it's not there anymore. Okay, let's get that out of the way so that we can get the scope in. Just fits. Okay, and then we will go here to Scope View. And we'll start doing the scopey things. Let's get you guys in focus. There we go. And then I'll get myself into focus. Oh, it's pretty good actually. Pretty bloody good. And we'll start nicking these off with hot air. Ow. That was a little bit sore. Oh, geez, did I just knock a cap off? I think, was there a capacitor just there? Oh, I mean, if there was, it should be relatively easy to sort out. Yep, there he is. Your little thing, you. We'll put him back now, shall we? A5. Now, I've been trying out this flux here. This one is called Styri LT HFTF. Don't know what any of that stands for. I can look it up, but and I've been quite pleased with this. This is quite good. Oopsie. Come back. It's gone out of the range of my vision now. Or my, what do you call the thing? Can't be far. There's nowhere for it to go. Little thing. It's nice to have a clean desk for this sort of stuff. If you do have things flying off the board, at least we know what it is. If I do find it, I'll just drop it. Do lose it, I will just drop a replacement on there. There it is. Oh, geez, you travelled a long way. Huh. Yeah. Maybe time for a different tact. Do-do-do. Bim. There we go. Okay. Now I just need to neaten it up. There we go. There's more solder on it now, so that will probably. I've got to get used to this new setup that I've got here now. There we go. Beautiful, beautiful, all beautiful. Something you promised me and haven't done. Yeah. So this is the PC compatibility card, which was in. It's the 7-inch one. So there were two. There was the 7-inch and the 12-inch PC compatibility card. This is the 7-inch version. I have been there is some documentation on this, some genuine Apple documentation, but I haven't found it yet. Oh, you didn't, did you, Steve? Oh, get away from town. Hang on. I'm going to put it up on screen so everyone can see how much you paid. Geez, that must have been a nerve-wracking end. Where is it? Where is it? Arr. Where'd you bloody post it? I can't find it. I'll find it. I'll find it. Ah, there it is. Found it. Arr, 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 arr. Okay. Sold. Oh, geez, Steve, are you sure you want me to show it? Oh, crikey. Yeah, I'm glad you've been saving your lunch money because, yeah, I'm gonna show it. Sorry, Steve. I hope you don't mind. I mean, it is public record, so. We'll go. So anyhow, for those who aren't aware, this is a UMAX or Supermac, Supermac, UMAC, S900 250 DP. Now the DP stands for dual processor. So this was a one of the clone computers that came out at the same time as the power computing and all that sort of stuff. It was 250 megahertz 6804E. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. That's about as fast as they came out. I don't think they ever went beyond 250. There was 180, 200, 225 and that. So 250, I think, was the fastest ever in a 604E. And then this was a dual processor. So I'm just going to show the photo of the inside of this, which is quite lovely. There we go. So we're just going to jump across here to the screen. And that's what they look like inside. Now, of course, the first thing you notice is that they look inside, they look like a disgusting, like, grey box PC. And it's because they ultimately were. They really didn't focus too much on designer aesthetics with these things. So you got your CD-ROM up the top there, you got your floppy there. Does it have a... It's only got a floppy, it doesn't have a zip or anything in there. Oh, or does it? No, hang on. That is that a... What's in the second bay there? Do we know? Does it have a zip? And then you got your floppy down there. And a 350 megahertz 604E. There you go. So I didn't know that. I didn't know that. And then you've got down here, you got your video card. I would say there's about a 99.98% chance it's an IMS twin turbo. And then you've got your two CPU daughter cards here. They're actually linked together with a little umbilical there. So that's one of them there. It's got a fan on the heatsink. There's another one there with a fan on the heatsink. And then you need this little ribbon cable that runs between the two. And that was that was... So this is, I had one of these, in which I love telling people the fact that I had one of these and got rid of it. But I had one of these dual processor things that never worked particularly well, but then again, And then I ended up running OS 10 on it with X Post Facto, and I used to use it for 3D rendering in a 3D render farm. So... But yeah, I got rid of it, but I did keep the cards, and I do have those cards, and one of them has been promised to Esteban. And I think, no, it's not here, it's upstairs. So I have a few of these cards. Some are in worse condition than others because they were in a fire, unfortunately. And fire's not particularly good for electronics. Okay, oopsie. Not my fire, someone else's fire. Okay. So, anyhow, we now know there's going to be one more thing in Steve's basement. So, excellent. But anyhow, congratulations on winning that, Steve. I mean, I know you're probably not thrilled about how much you paid for it, but I know you've been after one of those for a long time. And I've got to say, I actually think that's a pretty good price for that unit. So... And of course, you'll be able to make videos from it, and then you'll get loads of money from the YouTube internets, and then monies will just come in, and then you'll get your money back. That's the optimistic appraisal anyway. Okay, so all right, let's continue removing capacitors from this thing. I need to. This is a bit of a tricky one for removing the caps because there is so much plastic about. I need to. I might need one of my little heat shields from here. Oh, come on. It doesn't fit. There it does. This is so fiddly. It's because they cram so much onto these. I'm probably even going to have to get out the conical soldering iron tip to get some of these off. I mean on. New ones, the replacements on. So let's see if we can get this off without melting anything, shall we? I will do my best, Max, but I have this horrible feeling like I might end up melting something with this thing because there's just so much plastic everywhere. I think we're all right. And I think I even managed to not remove any components this time. Oh, Steve, I got my my articulated arm for the camera. I haven't had a chance to set it up yet because it only just came in just before the stream. But I am looking forward to seeing how that goes. And I am actually looking at buying a webcam with a zoom feature. I won't be buying that until probably later in the month or next month. But so I might actually be able to set up a camera with a sort of a zoom on it. It might be a little bit better. Just always trying to improve this top view because I always feel like that top view is one of the most important when I'm doing this sort of stuff. The microscope is probably the is probably the most important, and then this is the second important, and then the third important is my face because you have to see my face. Just due to public demand. Oops, that's not what I use. I use tweezers. Uh-oh, serial number. I've got to cover the serial number. Didn't even notice it there. Ba-da, ba-da. Francois, hello. I can smell burning dust at the moment. There we go. Let's try that again. I can feel a spider walking on my hand. I found 2 rather suspicious inflamed punctures on my leg the other day. Something that no Australian ever wants to see. Not sure when I got bitten, but thankfully it's not one of the deadly ones. Otherwise I'd be dead because it happened a while ago. Or a few days ago. Ah, that's what I was smelling, Bernie. My paper towel. Serial number. On some DSL you can actually update the firmware and use them as webcams. Yeah, yes. The main issue with them is they're so heavy. I mean, I've got a DSLR which would suit that, but they are heavy. And I want to have it on an articulated arm, ideally, because if I put it too high up, when I work, I end up getting my head in the way. If I have it on an arm like this, I can position it so that I can still be looking down and working on it, but then the view is still visible. We do have all sorts of creepy crawlies here, there is no doubt about that. So I think, did I save the serial number? Yeah, it's it's still there. Cool. Oh crap! I took this off a little prematurely. There's another bloody cap here. Stupid thing. Stupid thing. This has to be the aluminium again. Okay, this little guy. Look at him. Look at this sneaky little guy sitting in here. I nearly didn't even put him in the guide, you know. I did the guide, and I thought I was all done, and then I went, what? I just looked in the corner and saw his sneaky little head sticking out, and I'm like, I nearly missed that one. Little 10 microfarad, 16 volt. I know I'm good for cornflakes. Cornflakes are just such a good thing, aren't they? You know? Did you know that Cornflake himself was a Seventh-day Adventist? Okie dokie. Yeah, Mr. Kellogg was a bit of a weirdo, but we'll just, you know. Yes! Gotta stop all that. Can't be having any of that. Okay, 47 microfarad, 16 volts. Definitely one of the more common sizes in the Apple world. It's the one I have to buy most regularly. And 10 microfarad, 16. That's probably the second most common. If you're going to be recapping, I think, what is it, an LC2? And maybe an LC as well. You're going to want a few of those 10 microfarad 16s on hand. Off. Just got to be careful those things when they fall off, when the caps fall on the floor. They're usually piping hot, so I just don't want them to land on my leg. Hello, Bruce from America. Hey, hello, Bruce USA. I am Bruce Oz. Oh, there was a little spider in here. Is he still alive? Oh, he's still alive. I might move him. I mean, I hope I didn't superheat him. I'm definitely going to move him. You can live over there. How about that? You like that spot? Yeah. Oh, there's another one. Look at that. Should an old 80s or 90s Mac be totally recapped, logic and PSU, and cleaned before even turning on? Depends a lot on the Mac. Some I will quite happily just switch on and not really worry. The power supplies, you know, I mean, the worst you're going to get with the power supply in most instances, it's either going to blow a fuse, you know, like just, it's going to burn a reefer cap if it has reefer caps and stink the place out, just not turn on. And so with power supplies, I tend to just try them. I'll give it a whirl, just plug it in and see what happens. With the logic boards, if you've got serious leakage and stuff like that, which is potentially creating a short, then I wouldn't switch it on. But there are some computers I'll quite happily just switch on, you know, and just try it out. I'll usually like to have a visual inspection first, though. Joshua Clark, hello there. Happy Marchintosh to you too. I kind of forgot all about that. I really should have put something in the... I should have put a hashtag in the video, shouldn't I? I can always do that later. I won't be penalised. I'm terrible with doing these sorts of things for themed stuff. Like, you know, like the PowerPC Challenge and stuff like that. I actually did a video for that this year for the first time in ever. And it actually performed really well, and it was one that I really didn't put much effort into. So for those who watched that one about my little Quadra 605 PowerPC, and of course a big thank you to Kai for pointing out to me that I needed to change the little jumper on there to make it pretend to be an LC475 if I wanted to overclock it. But after overclocking it, I unoverclocked it because it started becoming incredibly unreliable once I overclocked it. So when I overclocked it and I started running the what do you call the thing, the PowerPC at, what would it have been, 66 megahertz, I just kept getting bus errors and stuff like that. Changed it back to 50, worked beautifully. So I don't know what happened there, but yeah. SE or SE30, Logic Analog PSU. SE30, definitely look, close inspection before switching on, absolutely. SE, I'll generally just fire them up and hope for the best. The older SEs that had the axial PRAM battery, they generally don't leak. I've never actually seen those batteries leak. I've seen them cause like electric, what do you call it, sort of, they can sometimes cause rust because of the electric charge running through the traces. I've seen that happen. Oh, okay. 601 is actually 66 megahertz. There's another resistor you need to move for the SCSI bus. I did that too. It still didn't help. I did that other little mod that you showed me, because you showed me, you sent me a thing, and I tried it with and I tried it without the mod, and I was still getting issues. So anyhow, I changed it back to 50. It doesn't really matter. I mean, the long-term plan for that computer is I'm going to make a case for it, and turn it into a little, you know, the case will be based on the design of the Quadra 700, but it will be altered to fit this this board and power supply, and I'm going to call it a Quadra 675. All right, one big fat cap left. Look at this guy. This guy is huge. On a Facebook forum that someone insisted for some SE or SE30s to be totally refurbished before turning on. Nah. I wouldn't. I mean, SE30 you've got to check, because they have leaky caps and you can have, you know, potentially battery damage and all that sort of stuff. But if, you know, visually inspected, it doesn't look too bad, just fire it up. SEs, most SEs, fire them up, they just work. They're such a bulletproof Mac, they really are. I mean, I would say to anyone, if they're looking to get a compact Mac, you know, the actual original compact Mac with a 7-inch screen, obviously we love an SE30, but if you want one that's just going to be largely trouble-free, you might have to get the power supply recapped. But if you want one that's largely trouble-free, just make sure it doesn't have the old PRAM battery in it. Bing. They just work. They just work. Try and get hold of the one with the high-density floppy drive as well. Actually, I don't even know why I say that. Who gives a stuff? Who cares about floppy drives in this day and age? I don't even use floppy drives. Okay, let's try and use up some of my awful fluxes. I've got some gross fluxes here, so we'll use these for cleaning. So this is one that I got a while ago, and it's Chem Tools. It's probably well out of date by now, but, you know. Oh, for goodness sake. Can't bloody open it. faulty PCU for $200. I didn't inspect the logic board. It looked pretty clean, so I was happy to pay that price. Oh yeah, that's a good price. $200 for an SE30 in this day and age is a very good price. Very good, very good, very good. I would. I mean, I don't need any more, but I would probably buy that. Who needs more? I've got 3. I don't need 3. I just don't need 3. No one needs 3. Okay, let's try this flux. Oh, here we go. Here we got it. Out she comes. Let's just try this and see what it's like for cleaning. If it stinks and is awful, I'll probably stop using it. Gotta wait for the iron to heat up. Okay. I'll be selling an SE30 in the UK in the next week or so. Working. Hoping to get £250 for it. Trying to realize why the SCSI on my Mac 2 doesn't work, and it doesn't have the FDHD upgrade, so I've been booting 800 disks from floppy emu. Constantly swapping disks is painful. Okay, so there are generally a couple of reasons why your SCSI doesn't work. I mean, first of all, with the Mac 2, it could be trace damage. Oh, this one smells quite nice. It could be trace damage. It could be the SCSI chip, but it could, of course, also be the fuses. There are 2 fuses there. So check the continuity on the 2 SCSI fuses. There's one SCSI fuse for the internal SCSI and one for the external SCSI. And yeah, but it could also be the SCSI chip, or it could be a damaged trace on its way to the SCSI chip. These are all possibilities. Just going to use this bit of wick first. These are nice and easy to clean, thankfully, because this board's very tidy. Look at how shiny that is. Bloody amazing. PowerPC 601 card for the longest time, no bites. Are you asking too much there? Where are you selling it there, Kai? Because I'll tell you what, those... I reckon that is it. Which card is it? Is it the one designed for like a Quadra 700 that goes into that little processor direct slot, or I think or is it one of the ones that attaches onto the 68040 chip, like the one that I did that video on? Large enough box to ship those 2 FX boards to you, along with a reloaded. Ooh, fancy. Don't let me, sort of. If you're sending over any gifts to me, will you please let me, at least, sort of pay for shipping or something like that? I mean, because you've been very generous in the past and sent me gifts, and if you're sending me gifts, I mean, I don't want you, bearing the brunt of the costs and whatnot. £3.95. Okay, outside on the TD Discord and forum, it's the 100 megahertz one for the Quadra PDS. Yes, I'd actually like one of those. To drop into like the 950 or something like that, or the 700. I think they go in the 700, don't they? I love it when you have those cards in there, and then when you flick backwards and forwards, so you have your Quadra chime, and then when you go start up as a PowerPC, you get a different chime. Love that. I think I remember why I stopped using this Flux. This one leaves a bit of a nasty residue behind. It'll all get cleaned off, of course, but I'm pretty sure that was why I stopped using it. As I say, this is a Chem Tools. Perfectly fine for cleaning up these pads, though. I guess, look, the thing you always have to remember with those, assuming, of course, your ad is being seen by your key market, if the people who want those sorts of cards are checking it out where you're selling it. But, if it's not selling, then I guess, I don't know, I guess that means it's probably too expensive? I mean, I guess that's sort of what the market says, I guess. I've got no idea what they're worth. I mean, the little one that I bought that I put in the Quadra 605, I think I paid $70 or $100 for it or something like that. But keeping in mind that it did not work, I had to repair it. So I put it on eBay, but they take 20% of the sale monies. Is it 20%? I thought it was less than that. That sounds a lot, even for eBay. Advertise it on the TD discount for. Yeah, look, I would try Facebook Marketplace or I mean, Marketplace. You're going to have a larger market with Marketplace. I hate Facebook Marketplace, but you might have a better chance of getting takers. Yeah, so eBay has 2 fees. Don't they have like a? They got like a set fee, I think, and then they have a percentage as well, something like that. This is the area I need to be a little careful around because this is where I knocked a component off before, like some kind of amateur. Okay. What am I looking for? This. I watched a film last night called One Life. I don't know if anyone has ever heard of it, but it gets you right in the feels. I can tell you. You might want some tissues if you watch it. I feel like caps just keep going on and on forever in this thing. Cried like a baby, yes. Oh no, look at this. Look at that. I don't think that was me. Hey, be careful. But it doesn't matter, that's fixable. We've got some bendy pins. I mean, could I have done that while I was trying to take this heatsink off? I was working on this side. Anyhow, we'll fix it. We'll fix it one way or another. That would certainly impair the operation of this device. Definitely had a dig of something quite, maybe in the box? I don't know. I mean, this one only came out of the box a little while ago. Interesting. Let's get that sorted out now, because I can't stand that. I would really like to take that heatsink off. That's really hit hard by something. We might even need to put a bit of solder on there. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. quite extraordinary, isn't it? Extraordinary. It keeps going inwards. I'd really want to try and bend it outwards and not inwards. Shitters. Oh, they're not hard to find. Oh, that's good to know. Hey, Dave, how's it going? Oh, you remember seeing the episode. See, I would not have seen that because that's in a whole nother country. Just thinking about the best way to tackle this. We do have the option of replacing this. Oh, see, that leg, I think, is actually busted. Hey-oh! Far out. What a mess this is. I can see a trace coming out, so the pin's definitely used. Yeah, look, I think it would make sense to remove this. And I'll do that before I put the caps on, because once I get the caps on, they'll be sitting right next to it. So it'll probably be easier. I'll just get the rest of the cleaning done, and then we'll whip that CPU off. I'll have to take the heatsink off, because heatsinks on things that you're trying to heat don't work out too well. Oh, Mr. Brutes, what a mess. Little hats off to some old Australian advertising. This is a really easy cleaning job, this one, because these pads are in really good condition. There's no real leakage of the capacitors. This is, I guess, what you'd probably call more of a preventative maintenance type thing with this. Yeah. Dave, I'm assuming we are referring to that person. I just mentioned him a little bit at the beginning of my live stream. Right, so I've got to get this heatsink off. It's probably stuck on with something. But I'm sure it can become unstuck. You reckon? Preferably without destroying it. I wonder if I can use a bit of heat to try and get this off, if there's some adhesive on here that might help me remove this heat sink. Because, I mean, they've got a clip on it so it doesn't fall off. So it must be removable, somehow. Ryan. They fixed my broadband. Yay! Ryan was having a lot of trouble in the last stream with his interwebs, internets. Off she comes. Ow, 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 ow. I don't know why I expected that heatsink to not be hot after I just hit it with a hot air station. Okay, so what do we got here? We have got IBM 5X86C 100. Does that mean it's 100 megahertz or something? No. 3v3, that's 3.3 volts. 100? I don't know. Anyhow, it's coming off. So, what do we got here? We've got, just want to make sure I've got something to indicate which way it goes back on. There's pin 1. There's no real dot to show pin 1, but anyhow, it's that way around as this way. I'm taking pictures. I have had to take a photo of it. I'll do that. Got a camera here. Da-da-da. I sent you the details of replacement QFP part in case that one is balked. Thank you. All 486s and QFP are the same QFP 208 pinout. Awesome. It is 100 megahertz. Cool. 3300 megahertz bus. 3x bus multiplier. Tev Rudin, hello there. It's sort of a PC recap. I mean, it is. I mean, look, IBM, it is a PC. But it's a PC compatibility card designed to go in a Mac. Now, I'm going to probably just do this with the top view here because it's so big. That I'm not going to get it. There we go. Look at that. Sorry? How cool is that? Even if it is out of focus. Autofocus. Autofocus. Doesn't look very autofocusy to me, does it? Have I got the wrong camera? I don't know. Did it do it? Did it just do it? I think it just did it. Right, so hitting this with some hot air. And we'll see if we can repair these pins. If we can, we'll plonk it back on. If we can't, we'll leave it off. And we'll put some of the other caps on and I'll order one of these off the internets. Probably should put some flux on this, shouldn't I? Oh, that smells! Smells like a cat litter. This is taking some convincing to come off, isn't it? And something like this would probably work really well if I had a board preheater as well. But as I have mentioned before, even though I do have a board heater, it uses so much power that it has a tendency to trip the fuse. Okay, now let's get rid of that stink. Oh, Dave, thank you very much for that. Super chat? Or super sticker or whatever the thing is. Or maybe glue under it. No. Just took a long time to heat. Long time. Did I say hello to you, Frank? Hello, Frank. I've got to wait for this to cool down. If I touch it now, I'm going to hurt myself. So let's just get this chip out of the way for now. We'll clean up these pads. It has to be done. There we go. That won't take much cleaning up, but still got to be done. This flux has kind of got very gelatinous, and that's an indication of it being outside of its use-by date. Ah, yes. So there were some pins busted, or bent. We're hoping they're not busted. They might be. And I could not get them bent back into shape in situ. Oh, I just dropped something. It's probably a dead cap. And so I decided to remove the chip, and then I'll clean these all up, and then we'll have a look at the chip. I'll put it in the vise, and we'll have a look at it upside down and see if we can get those pins straightened, or if they're gone and we potentially might need to repair them, or if the whole thing is so stuffed that we'll just buy a replacement chip. Because Kai is saying they are readily available, and I believe everything Kai says. I consider that a gift. Oh, what have I done? What have I done? Oh, yeah. Steve has spotted what might be a little bit of trace damage, so we will check that out. Where is it? Okay, it's right down there. All right, well, we'll come back to that in a sec. He's just sent me a little picture. Steve's eagle eye while I've been doing this work here. Okay, so it was down here somewhere. It was just above the P for Apple Computer, and it was just grit. It was just grit. It was a little bit of grit because it's not there anymore. So anyhow, thank you for pointing it out, Steve. But it was just grit, so we're good. Phew, I'm glad, because this thing is pretty tidy, you know. And I would hate for it to be in a situation where I've got... I remember why I stopped using this flux now. It leaves the most disgusting residue on the board. It's just gross. You know, I tried all of these fluxes. I ordered a whole stack, and I tried one after the other. And, like, and some I was just like, nah, this is terrible. And this is one of the ones that I just stopped using because of the residue it left on the board. So I probably should just throw it away. And this is one from Chem Tools. That's an Australian company. So that one's a big no. So I'm going to stop using this one. I might just throw it away. I really don't see much point in keeping a flux that I don't like using. Bye. I 3D print these things. Let me just show you. So these are the little tubes that you buy the flux in, and they come in, well, I think primarily 3 different sizes. They come in a 5 cc, 5 cubic centimeters, or 5 grams there. In this one, is it focusing? Okay, there's 5 cc there, and then you got a 10, like this, and then they have a bigger one, which is a 30. They come with these plungers like this, but because of this rubber thing at the end, they have a tendency to get stuck in there, and when you squeeze them, the stuff just keeps oozing out the end. So I've actually got a 3D model of my own little plungery thing that I've made, this one here, which when it focuses, it'll look great. When it focuses, come on, you thing. What's gotten into you today? Hey, there we go. So this, and I've designed it so that it has this end bit here with these little knobby bits that come out the side. The knobby bits hold it inside the tube, but then it's got these little channels for air to get out, so you don't end up with a air being stuck in there. So when you squeeze it, it doesn't keep coming out. Well, that's the theory anyway. It works sometimes and doesn't work other times. So, all right, let's have a little look-see at this chippy. So what I can tell you, so Kai has basically said, I'd be happy to get a new tube of 5 or 10 cc flux that cleans off with alcohol nicely. So there are ones that are designed specifically for cleaning off easier, and there's actually some, even some water-based ones. They don't flux as well as some of the other ones, so they'll burn away off the board a little easier, but they are a lot easier to clean off. So, but that will be in my flux video, which with a bit of luck I might even get out in the next few days, because I'm planning to record some of that this afternoon. Whoa! I've got a little vise here for holding chip in, and I'm trying to hold the chip in. There we go, I think I've got it. Oh, he keeps popping out. Now, this is designed for smaller chips than this, so I think it's struggling a little bit. There we go. Okay, that's in. So I've got the little chip in the vise there, so I can now look at it with the microscope, and we can see what we can do. We'll clean up the pins. We'll, get all of the excess solder off them, but then we've got our little mincemeat pins down here. So the first thing we're going to do is get all the flux off them. How corrosive are those fluxes if you don't clean it properly with alcohol? Okay, that's a very good question, Ryan. Most of the fluxes that I use, I've got one here which is an exception to that rule, but most of the fluxes that I use are referred to as no clean fluxes. So what that means is they don't have any corrosive chemicals in them. So you can technically leave them there and they won't corrode. They still encourage you to clean them. They don't. When they say it's a no clean, they're not actually saying don't clean it off. But what they're saying is if you do get some left behind, they're not corrosive. So there are different types of flux out there. They're referred to as, I think, active and passive fluxes. Active fluxes are the ones that have corrosive materials in them. Ow! Jesus! I forgot where my hands were. Fast reflexes, like lightning. Right. Now this pin looks like he's almost definitely going to fall off. Yeah, he's going to come off. There's no way I can avoid that. In order for me to bend him, you can just see it there. You can see him coming apart, and that little light-coloured bit in there, you can actually see the copper. So if, in the process of me trying to spin this around, it's going to just fall off. One down. When I was younger and I used to do soldering, there was a type of flux that I used to use, and it was sort of it's called Baker's flux, and it was sort of an all-purposey type flux. And I didn't even know that other fluxes existed. Wasn't really enough into I was doing soldering, but I didn't really know about things like rosin fluxes and that. And so that was just what I used. I used this Baker's flux, and you had to, of course, clean it off, because that was corrosive. Can we save this one? Can we fix it? No, it's... Jeez. He's coming off as well. God, it really minced it, didn't it? I mean, I think something probably fell from a height on it, something like that, because, wow. It really had knocked them down hard. I think we'll save this one. Pretty sure, anyway. Assuming it's not still bloody soldered to the other pin. Or the other leg. Boy, boy, oh boy, oh boy. I'm imagining this is probably very difficult to watch, because when you're watching someone do something like this, you're always imagining your own hands, you know, what you would do. And, of course, you can't. You have to just watch what I'm doing. Oops. I do have an X-Acto, but I'm actually using a surgical scalpel here instead, because I much prefer them. I've lost it. Where's my hole? There we are. Right, so how have we ended up here? We've ended up with 2 lost pins out of the 3 bended ones. I need to move the scope down a bit. Yep, just a bit, just a bit. Oh, that's not a bit, that's a lot. Right, Now, we have a couple of options available to us at this moment. Well, looking at the board itself, they were in this region here, and I definitely did see some of them going this way. So let's have a look. So one of them is going to, that one there looks like it's just going to ground. I dare say that big plane there is a ground plane. And the other one is going to this. Now there's 1, 2, 3, 4 pins. So that's probably going to like VCC, I would have thought. So I can count what number of pins they are. It doesn't sound like a lot of fun, but I can do that. Right. So I'm going to see whether it is possible to reveal a little bit here to then solder them pins on down. I probably should get I didn't really clean this chip up much. Better do that first. This is what you get for working on PCs, okay? Punished is what you get. You get punished. Sorry, I've got to come back up again. So I think we've got one ground and one VCC. That's what I'm expecting from that. Stay still. Stay still. Let's get some more WICK. This isn't even a PC. Well, look at it. Look at it. Look at it. This is a IBM x86 CPU. So if that ain't a PC, I don't know what is. I think this WICK might be all old and scungy. %50 PC. It's a PC, I tells you. It runs DOS. So what do you think? Do you reckon I could just ignore the ground one and just do the VCC one? What are your thoughts on that, Kai? Sent you the pin map and descriptions. Okay, let's fire up the old Discordian. Oh, look at this awesome pin map. Okay. Dimple. Let's have a look at the dimple. The dimple is the... There's the dimple. Actually, I should Open in browser. There we go. So pop that up here. This is what we can do now. We can do this stuff. Copy. Paste. Alright, let's just jump across here now and do the thing with the thing. So, what are we in? OBS. How's chat going? Hello. And screen. So there it is. There's a little index dimple, which I've got here. And what I can tell you... Oh, God, those numbers are small. Okay. It's right down the middle. Oh, shivers and crackers. So, far out. I'm having trouble reading that. Zoom. Can I zoom it? Zoom. There we go. And oh, that's as much as I can zoom? Okay. What's that? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, cool. So we're going up that way. Right. We're going to count it. We're going to count. We're going to count. We're counting, everyone. If you don't like it, you've got to blame Kai. Kai for making me count. So, 1, 2, no, hang on. 5. 105. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 29, 30, 31. It's 32 and 33. 32 and 33. So we've got VCC. 133 is VCC. And 132 is... Crap, I can't read that. It's V something. V11 or something? I can't... Can you read that, Kai? 132, 133? 105. It's really low res, or is it just my screen or something? Far out. No, I don't think it's my screen. I think it's really low res. Oh no, I'll read it a little bit better on this one. So let me just check. So it is... I still can't make out what that is. It's V something something. It looks like dollar signs or something. V... So VCC and that. So... Yeah. Alright, so let's try that again. Let's try it again, shall we? Just to make sure I'm counting right. VSS equals ground. Oh, there we go. Okay, top view. Oops, scope view. There we go. So let's count again, shall we? Would you like to count today? 105. 105, 106, 107, 108, 109, 110, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32 and 33. So, 32 and 33. 32 and 33, yep. So, ground and VCC. Now, it's 134 is a VCC as well. So, 133 and 134 are VCC. In your opinion, can I just leave these not connected? Because they'll get it from the pin next door? Or... And same with the ground. There's grounds all over this thing. I should be fine. So I can just leave them not connected. And then just send it back. Yeah? Alright. Love it. I'm loving it. I'll send it back. I'll send it back to the owner and say, hey Max, I stole some pins. They're mine now. Alright, let's try a different flux today. What are we going to try today? We're going to try the LED flux. So this is a flux that's specifically designed for working with LEDs. Who knew? LEDs and solar panels or something. Yes, you know what? Yeah, that's a good idea. I like it. I like it. I like your plan. I can probably even get continuity to the little nubs in here. So if I were to... Oh, God, that's fine, isn't it? Let's try. Let's try. Let's try. I'm not even... what do you call these things? Probes are a little bit fat. We'll try. So what did we say? We said the one on that side. So 133 and 134, if we're getting continuity there. Ah! Far out! Son of a gun. Yep, okay. That confirms it. VCC is fine, getting continuity there. So now we just need to try the ground. Well, there's a ground right on the end here, so let's just try that. That's the ground there. Yep. We're sweet. We're sweet. Crisis averted. Dun, 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 dun. So let's try this LED flux, shall we? Well, they're connected. They are connected. So everyone, thank you for all of the contributions and everything. That's the old flux, and now's the new flux. And we're still in the spout. So this lighter coloured flux, this is the LED flux, and I'll show you something here, if I may show you something, if I dare. I'm looking for a thing. Searching for a thing. See, that's what happens when you clean up. You either put something in a logical position. Ah, there it is. Okay. So, if we just jump across here to the top view for a second. Look at that. I don't know if you'll be able to see this, but we'll try. I'm going to shine a little UV light. Oh, look at all the flux glowing. Yoy, yoy, yoy. You can see this flux is kind of glowing. You sort of see it glowing. That one's glowing more. But yeah, so we have... oh yeah, the UV tracer. So that one I was using before, the stinky one that I threw away, that had UV tracer in it as well. Ah, yeah. How about that? Oh, look at that. New flux. Thank you for the super chat, Tevrin. That's, I think that's more super chats I've had in a good long while. So thank you to everyone for that. I appreciate it. A while. Cool whip. Okay. Try and get it as close as I can. And then I just do one corner. You can't really just base it on one pin. You got to try and base it on you know, sort of lots of pins, because some of the pins just get bent. So like for here, this one on the end is a little... Oh, Jesus, I'm not scope view. Sorry, people. This one here... so these... this one's a little bit bent. So I am actually trying to base it on the row of legs rather than just one individual leg. And I'm going to now need a little bit more solder on my iron here, but it looks a bit, it's not enough. Okay, not fussed at the moment about any bridges or anything like that. We'll worry about that later. All I'm concerned about now is just getting the position right. Hey-oh, don't move too much. I don't want to tear up head. There we go. Okay, so now that's enough to hold it into position. I just got to go and get them all soldered on. Cool. Right, so let us get this thing permanently affixed to the board again. Now this is the yucky flux that I've got here that's just all goopy. Don't like it at all. Don't like it. You could just tell the difference between the nice stirry flux and the crappy old flux, just in terms of the way it flows and stuff. It's nice. And then we'll just get rid of a bit of excess there with some wick. Wicky, wicky, wicky. Great. Now, one thing I can tell you was those pins that were damaged before, they were actually touching each other, which meant we would have actually had the short to ground there. We would have actually had VCC touching ground there. So this definitely would not have worked. I can tell you that. That's for true. Oh my God. Come on. There we go. Alright, it's not there. Never mind. Okay, so let's do another row. We'll do the one with our busted pin. So, just checking. Yep, they should all go down nicely. I don't see a need to do any bendage of any of these pins. Sorry for the quietness, I'm sort of concentrating. Because I've got like one of those sorts of brains. You're being so stubborn, you little bridge there. Get a little bit of flux on him. That'll sort him out. What that tells you. Got another little bridge there. Little bridgey ditch. And there, that one's gone now too. Great. Whew. Concentration is for the weak. Yes, do not attempt drag soldering without a really helpful large serving of flux. These pins look a little bit off. Gotta have that flux. Really wish I'd put gloves on today. My hands are a bit sticky. Okay, I think we're good to go now. This is the third side, so we are nearly done. I moved some pins, I moved some pins. Crap, I need another hand. Uh-oh. Now I moved the pad. It's a bit of a pain, isn't it? Far out. This is a tricky one, isn't it? Now, I need to try and get the pad stable and then move the leg on top of it, working as fast as possible. Got it! Far out. That's whew, made the heart pound faster. I hope you guys saw some of that. You probably didn't, but you know. Nerve-wracking stuff. Alright, how's everyone going? Phew. Hello, Jeremy. Tiago, hello from Brazil. Hello, right back at you. Thank you, Ryan. Grace, my Omega 2000s only needs some capacitor love. That's good. Serving size is equivalent to a dollop. Yes, I generally refer to them as Rossmans. As an ode to Lewis Rossman, who loves his flux. But nothing wrong with that. If in doubt, add some more flux. Okay, that one was bridging because that pin's a little bit to one side. It's not actually touching, so I think I'll leave it just based on the fun and games I had on the other side. I think we're all soldered down now. So, anytime you're doing any of this sort of work, it's really, really, really important to get the old microscope and then hold the board at an angle like this. And run your way along and make sure that everything's soldered and nothing is bridged. Got one little pin off to one side there. No Bridgeting. Bridgerton. Stay close, aren't they? I really would love to bend that pin out a little bit. But I'm scared. I'm scared. Anyone seeing any bridges? There's a big fat bridge. Look at it. Look at it. There we go. No more bridges. So I think we're good. I think we're good. I feel like I probably put it in the right position. Thanks to that, Enzo. WICK KM601 Smart Digital Multimeter, 10,000 counts, true RMS. It's good multimeter. If anyone's on the lookout for one, they don't want to spend too much money, can do a hell of a lot worse than buy a WICK KM601. Speaking of flogging stuff as well, T-shirts, QWERTY, link in the description. Discount code, $1 off. Awesome T-shirts there, lots of fun. They're the sorts of shirts that I like to wear, and apart from, they're actually quite hard-wearing and comfortable too. I take a 2XL because I'm a large person. Yeah, it's kind of cool. I like them. This, of course, an esoteric reference to the Alien films. Right, let's get some recapping done. We've done all of the hard stuff. Now we've just got to stick some new caps on. We'll start off with our ridiculously large one, the 220 microfarad 10 volt. So, get that one. And we'll plonk him here. That's it there. Got the screen printing on here. We can see the the shape of these. Even if you don't have a plus, we've got a plus on there, but even if you don't have a plus, you can tell when it has these beveled edges there, that's the positive side of an electrolytic capacitor. But no, we're not putting an electrolytic in there, are we? No. We are putting in... I made it upside down. Why did I make it upside down? I've done the guide that way around, like some sort of idiot. And I nearly put that in the wrong place too. Thank goodness I have a guide. It's there. And the positive is there. So yes, 220 microfarad, 10 volt right there. And this has the number on it is 227, which means it is 22 followed by 7 zeros, which is what? 220 million picofarads, which is 220 microfarads. There you go. That's how it's done in the world of computers and electronics and science. And other fancy crap like that. I'm just concerned about this trace here. I don't know if you can see how close this trace is. I plonk this on there. I'm worried that I'm going to create one of those things. A short to ground. So I think I'm actually going to clean that up and stick some UV mask on it. Let's call it preventative maintenance. House of Moth. Hello, Jay. Welcome to the live stream. It's a little bit of a trick, you see, Jay, that little thumbnail, because technically, yes, it is a PC, but it is a PC compatibility card out of a Macintosh. So you might even go as far as to say that that thumbnail was clickbait. This is something that I would never normally do. You know me, I've got way too much credibility to go around clickbaiting thumbnails. Cool. So when I clean these up before I stick UV mask on, I always make sure they look matte. You know, when the alcohol dries up, the surface looks like it's matte and not shiny. If it's shiny, it's probably still got a little bit of residue behind there, but you've got to make sure you get it spotlessly clean before you stick the stuff on, otherwise it won't stick. Simple as that. So it's just this one I'm worried about. I've mentioned this many times in my live streams. Tantalum capacitors have wider pins on them than the original electrolytics, so they hang over the sides of the pads. So if you've got any traces or anything that are nearby, we've got to make sure they're well covered so that they don't get any, we don't end up with an accidental short. Anyone who has watched the our old Mac-Yak live stream will know very well that we are all Maca people from the Mac-Yak group. That original Mac-Yak group comprised of, well, when I say original, I joined kind of halfway through. I was probably there for about 60 or 70% of them, I suppose. So there was me, there was Jay from the House of Moth, there was Dana from Dana Does Stuff, there was Steve from Mac84, Greg Thompson, GT, Mike from Mike's Mess. What was GT's channel called? Mac Attacker or something like that. And who am I missing? And Greg Rutke from Rutke Mods. So that was the Mac-Yak group. I don't think I missed anyone. Let me know if I did. And we used to do a little live YouTube-y thingy. And Mac Attack, that's it. There you go. And so we are all Mac folk, even though GT does use a PC for gaming. Or should I say simulations? We've got to make sure we get the terminology right. So I'm just using a laser here to dry this UV mask. It's the quickest way to do it. I can put this UV mask on there, expose it to some UV light with this laser, and then it's all dry and ready for me to stick the cap on. Saves time. Time is money. Right, let's try this cap again. The way I always see computers, they are tools. There's really no point in arguing if one is better than the other. You go with whichever one that makes you more productive. That's as simple as that. So yeah, there's really no point in actually kind of saying one is better than the other. There are things that I can tell you that I really like about the Mac OS. Their hardware has been wanting for a while, but that's primarily because of this desire to make things smaller, and then of course there is also that desire to make things more, I guess what would you say, kind of disposable. Try and get that cycle happening faster, so rather than people hanging onto a computer for 10 years, make it so they only hang on to it for 5 years and then get a new one when the old one breaks down. But as I've said many times before, I'll say it again, Apple's a hardware company. They make their money selling hardware. So that's how it is. Okay, we've got one 100 microfarad 6.3 volt. That's one of the common ones. 100 microfarad 6.3 volts. That's, as I say, it's a very common one on the Macs. So that one is going to live just here. I have to go around the other way again. Excuse me here. And let's just check if I have to do any. No, that one. This one's fine. I don't need to do any masking on this one. One thing I will say about Macs from, I guess, a collector's point of view, because Apple have always been very design focused, it does mean that a lot of their computers have become quite collectible over time. When you're talking about PCs, it might be the case, certainly things like the old IBM 5150 and stuff like that. I'm not saying there aren't collectible PCs, of course there are. But when people are, you know, essentially getting like just the grey boxes, so you've just got a grey box, and you've put a board in it, and you put a CPU in it, and stuff like that. It might be, you know, sort of serving you very well, but it's unlikely to become collectible in the future. 211 Twist, hello there. HX power supply in my G4 MDD, and while it bonged, no picture. I have DVI to VGA, which goes back to my 32-inch Panasonic TV. I enjoy your streams and Mac 84s. Thank you very much. We actually got a stream from Steve yesterday, didn't we? I think. Am I remembering the days right? What day is it today? Sunday. Oh, I think it was yesterday. Might have been the day before. But anyhow. 322 microfarad 35 volts. This is a very uncommon capacitor size for Mac stuff, so it isn't one you'd necessarily need to buy if you were doing a lot of vintage Mac recapping. Two days ago, was it really? Was it? Look at what Lewis Rossman has been through. We will just leave that one, I think. Okay, upside down. I keep spinning this around the other way. I can't help myself, but I did my guide upside down. Don't ask me why I did my guide upside down. I know someone's going to ask me why, but I don't know why. But I did my guide upside down with the PCI connector at the top. One of the really funny things about Apple, and I have said this before on the channel, someone who's been using Macintoshes professionally since 1989. And I went through this period, a very long period, of Apple being this underdog. You know, they were the battler. They were the one fighting against the big guy, you know, and all that sort of stuff. And of course now, they are the big guy. I'm going to need to use my other tip because I need to get into a very, very tight position here. So I'm probably going to need my conical tip for this. Hopefully it's thin enough to get in the spot. Not a conical. Righty. Now, what I will probably do is I'll do these one at a time rather than both together. So I've got the space to get in here. So I use this conical tip from time to time. It's very thin, but it's curved. And that curvature allows me to get it in sideways and then get a decent amount of heat where I'm going. I generally steer clear of conical tips because I find them just too hard to get the heat where I want it. Whereas this curved one actually does quite well. It's not as good as the other tip that I use in terms of heat transfer. You do often have to hold here for a lot longer before you get enough heat to melt the solder and get into spots and whatnot. And then I'll do the same for this side. I think I can just squeeze in there. There's no way I could have got my other tip into there. Just no way. Ew. Okay, so that's one down. I'm happy about that. I thought that was going to be a lot harder. So, and this one we've got this. I'm going to probably have to move him back a little bit because I really don't have much room in there. Whoever designed this is a great big poo-poo head. Careful. You do not want to tear any pads today. All right. They're in, and we've got one more. See you, Ryan. Gotta go, my eyes are failing me now. I need to go to sleep, or else I'll end up doing the old man thing and fall asleep in my chair. Or some odd replies on Tinker Different. Good night, Kai. Thank you very much for joining me. When will we be getting some Xserve content on this channel? It's a good question. I don't even know what angle I would take with that. I've got a Xserve RAID that needs work, so I suppose I could pull the board out of that and probably get a little bit of work done on that one that's just over there in that shed. Sitting on top of a fridge. It's good size. It's a good place. If anyone's ever trying to store an Xserve RAID somewhere, it just sits on the top of the fridge quite well. And then we shall put this last 22 on. I've spun it around again. The last 22 goes over here. It's this one. This is very foreign to me. I have never recapped one of these before. Ever. So the flux that I'm using at the moment is one that they've said is specifically to... No, I've gone back to the other sort. So, that's the one I was using before that I quite like. This one reminds me quite a lot of either the ASM or even the V3 as well. It's got quite a nice smell. Oh, I've got to get rid of this stupid conical tip. I like my new soldering iron tip holder. It is so much easier to get the tips in and out of. It's way more practical for me, and I'm a very practical person. My fridge is slagging slightly, but I have an Xserve RAID and 3 servers on it. Mine's just got the RAID with no hard drives in it. Or maybe it does have some hard drives in it. Yeah, I think it's got some hard drives in it. But anyhow, it doesn't work. I got hold of it, and it was already, decommissioned when I got hold of it. And then I got it home, and it had a lot of moisture corrosion inside. Where it was stored, it was at a place where it was an office, but it's an office space that was a building specifically designed for kind of air convection inside. So the whole idea was you didn't need to use air conditioning or heating much. It was a building designed to try and hold temperature, and it had these specially positioned windows to get current flows and stuff like that. And so in that office, they used to have the windows open a lot. and it looks like it has and they're reasonably close to the water, not ridiculously close, but close enough to the water. And they ended up having corrosion, and so I've got an X-Serve, an Intel X-Serve, and a RAID, and they've both had damage. Now I had a replacement motherboard for the Intel X-Serve, and it works fine. Fucking noisy, but it works. And oh crap, I should check these. No, we're good. And then there's whoopsie, come on, go. But the RAID controller inside the X-Serve is Cactus. So I can run it with like an external drive or whatever. I can run it, but I can't run it as with the RAID. Well, actually, I shouldn't say that. That's not entirely true. I think it shows one drive, but it doesn't show all the drives that are plugged in there. So PCI Rage 128 Pro pulled out of a PMG4. As long as it's not the AGP one, yeah, I'm definitely wanting one of those. I'll send you some XF parts. I really would like to get the RAID controller replaced or repaired on this one. I got it working for a bit. So I found this terrible corrosion on it. I fixed the corrosion. I put it back in and it worked for a bit and then it stopped again. I've had it out a few times and I kind of gave up on it. But and then I've got a G5 X-Serve as well. They slot well behind doors too, by the way. If you're trying to find where to put them, just sneak them in, leaning up behind the door. I've got all sorts of tricks of the trade of how to store computers without feeling like you're storing computers. Okay, that's 3 of the 22 microfarad 35. Then we've got 6 of the 10 microfarad 16. I have to start speeding this up because by gum this is taking me a long time. I ended up getting the G5. I do trades every now and again with, sort of other collectors. They might get hold of something and I go, oh, I'd like one of those. Would you like one of these? It's a great way to work. This is one of the really good things about the collecting community. That sort of people, you get an opportunity. You might end up with surplus something or something you don't want. And, you can trade it for something you do want. Shall we say hello to the chickens? Quick little hello to the chickens. There you go, there's one. Hello, chicken. The black one. Okay, back to the scope view. Oh, Quicksilver Oz, where are you? Hello there. PC, yes, it's a PC card. It's a PC compatibility card for a PowerPC Macintosh. So it is kind of a what do you call those things? A clickbaity sort of sneaky sort of thumbnail posty thing-a-rooney. So we've got a whole stack of 10s down here. Let's get those in. I'm just going to flux it all over. Yeah, what have we got here? Let's check some polarities. Oh, I'm going to have to get that stupid conical again. Get into that space. 1, 2. I always like to be able to prove to the world I know how to count. 3. Just run the other way. 4. Four capacitors. Been going for over 2 hours. That's a lot of work for one PC card. I hope it's worth it. No, it's not. Not even close to worth it. But we did have a little bit of a complication with this. This would have been done ages ago if it weren't for the fact that we found those mangled pins on the CPU, which is now resolved, but it did take a chunk of time out of the recapping. I figured this one would take a while only because it has 19 capacitors. Didn't need any real repair work done on it, which is nice. Alright, now I can go this way. I do talk a lot. I talk heaps and heaps and heaps and heaps. But you'd miss it if I stopped, wouldn't you? Wouldn't you? Maybe? Please? How's the garage going, Jay? You still doing work in there? Jay's been sorting out his garage. Oh, will I get it in there? I might get it in there, you know? Yay! I didn't even need mechanical. Who's buffering? Someone buffering? Oh, okay. Well, I've got all green light here. Everything looks fine. Let me just check and see what's going on. I'm not... Normally, if you're getting problems, you'll get little red lights and things and stuff. Do 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 do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Do 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 do. Oopsie. What did I just do? Don't answer that. Okay. Right. 1, 2, 3. Okay, I just saw that happen, so that's cool. Well, what you have to remember, Tiago, is that most of these capacitors that are in place here are already above the spec, and it's based on this this idea of these spikes that are coming in. But what I have to say, this is just referring to using tantalums instead of electrolytics. But I've sort of pretty much taken my cues from Apple on this matter, because Apple actually have computers with tantalums in them rather than electrolytics, and they just use the same spec. They didn't use bigger ones, so, and those computers are still going strong. So that's my justification behind it. So is the buffering finished? Because I don't see anything. I don't see any issues here. Oh, geez, I tell you what, I had some fun internet issues last night. My internet did actually go down last night for a very brief amount of time. Well, I switched the modem off and on again, and when I switched it back on, it came on. I was ordering some food on Uber Eats, right? And this restaurant that we go to, they sometimes close early. But anyhow, we jumped on. It's like, they're still open. Awesome. So we go and order the food, get it all ready to go. I go to press the order button, and then it just sits there thinking. I'm like, what the hell's going on? So I check, and it's like, my internet's gone down. I've got a spare internet connection. So I jump onto the spare internet connection. And that's going for a bit, and then that stops as well. It's like, crap, so it's with the fiber connection. So then I was like, okay, I'll get up to the computer, I try and figure out what's going on. I end up putting my phone onto 5G connection, and then I did the tether to the phone, so I used my phone as the internet, and went in, go to do the order, pressed the send button for the order, and it came up and it said, unfortunately, they can't take your order at this time because they had closed early. And I was like, don't get in the way of me and my food. Right, we've got a little capacitor that's going to sit here in the corner. No, we ended up just ordering from somewhere else. Essentially, we wanted a Luxor, okay? This is what it came down to. We wanted to get a Luxor. My wife and I are going to get a Luxor each. And that was what we wanted. And this place in particular, because Luxors vary depending on, you know, who makes them and where they're made, all that sort of stuff. But we were, where's plus? I can't see the plus. Oh, there it is. So the plan wasn't entirely foiled because there was another Luxor place we were able to get. They're different Luxors. I won't say better or worse. They're a different style of Luxor. But what we had was absolutely delicious. It was magnificent. So the guy who closed early, he kind of did himself out of some dough because, you know, we would have spent some money. The first place does amazing chicken skewers as well. Yum. It's L-A-K-S-A. L-A-K-S-A. Luxor. It's a type of soup. So like a very, very... It's kind of like a coconutty sort of soup with a Luxor paste for incredible amount of flavour. And then they put noodles in it, and then they put, you know, usually some veggies and some meat. The meat could be anything. It could be a seafood Luxor, it could be chicken, it could be beef, it could be pork, you know, whatever. What I got was do a Google search, L-A-K-S-A. L-A-K-S-A. See if I can get a picture of one. And they're beautiful. I mean, they're really, really nice. Yeah, and top view, let's go to screen. There we go. Here's a Luxor. That's what a Luxor looks like. We'll just do some images here. So it's a very, very hearty soup. Very wholesome, hearty soup. And it's usually got a fair bit of heat in it too. There's usually quite a bit of spice. Yeah. You obviously add chilies and stuff to it. And see, you can see some people adding an egg to it. Some use thin noodles, some use thick noodles. I probably prefer it with the thin noodles, like the vermicelli type noodles. You know, and you can see you get a lot of nice fresh stuff on the top there. And, you know, chicken and, oh my God, they are so yummy. So anyhow, that's what we had for dinner last night. And as you can see, you got Singapore, you got Malaysia. So there are different types of Luxor from, you know, different parts of the world. Penang. The ones we had last night were very much a Malaysian style. So there we go. So anyhow, they were very beautiful. Very, very beautiful. Okay. Yeah, so the ones I got, because I'm not a big fan of prawns or shrimp, you know, I don't particularly like the taste of them. I like other types of seafood, but not a big fan of prawns. So I had, they were pork, the ones I had barbecue pork in it, and it had wontons in it. And it was very nice, very nice. Right, so that's, I think I've got one more of the little guys. One more? Yes, one more. Ha ha. So, and he just goes. He goes there. Cool in Melbourne now, 20 degrees. Yeah. I'm actually sitting right next to the air conditioner, so I don't even know what it's like outside, but what does my watch say? 29 degrees. 29 degrees where I is. Supposed to get up to 34 later in the day. Oh, crap. 34? Poo. Probably means it's going to be a stinking hot night as well. Actually, they were talking about possible rain at the end of the day, so maybe not. Had a few hot nights around here lately, I can tell you. It's a lot of solder. Right, so that was the last of the 10s, and now we've got 9 47 microfarads. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And you know the interesting thing about the Luxes is that they are, as I said, they're very, very spicy, and I actually love eating Luxer on a hot day. I know that seems kind of weird. It's like, why would you want hot food on a hot day? But spicy, I don't know why, but for some reason I love spicy food when the weather's warm. It's just for whatever reason, I just do. I just do. Mm-hmm. Come on, thank you. Not a big Dick Marks fan. That's me. Oh, that was a funny time. I enjoyed that. Yep, there's a raven out there, alright. Where are you, Quicksilver? You're in Queensland, aren't you? Is that right? I think you're up north. I actually make a Luxer. I use a store-bought Luxer paste for it, but I do make one, and I use chicken in it, and it is, even if I do say so myself, bloody delicious. But I do sometimes like to buy them as well, because they are different to mine. Because a lot of these places, they make their own Luxer paste, and that gives you some real variety. Just checking these traces under here. They're still covered, so I think we're okay just soldering down on top of these. Feed the world, let them know it's Christmas time. I'm going to jump back over to the V2 for the next cap, so I just want to get that feel again of the V2 flux. This one is a good flux, this one I'm using at the moment. This is one that they're saying specifically designed for use with LEDs. Don't ask me what's different about it, because I don't know. I don't know what's different to make it work with LEDs. I don't know. Oh, it's over here. It's just not pointed at... My fume extractor's here. It's just not actually pointed at what I'm working on. But this is why I have Jay to look out for me and make sure that I'm doing the right thing. He's my occupational health and safety instructor. Right, so let's try this V2 again. Oh, not V2, sorry, ASM. Just like to be reminded every now and again. See if I'm using these fluxes, they're nice, but I just want to know if I just jump on and start using... There's a BGA one then as well, I need to try that out. V3, Hydra, So there are these Hydra ones. Everyone just keep in mind that Steri make these Hydra fluxes, and the Hydra ones can be washed off with water quite easily. So here we go, ASM. I have checked, and they really do wash off well. So, hail Hydra! There's already flux there. I don't need to add any. Feed the world. It's nice these are all together. Makes it easier for soldering. First mosquito bites in January this year. Nuts, wowzers. In Brazil, it's hot too, more than normal for this time of year. Yeah, we've the long-term forecasters here have said that when I say long-term, I'm not really long, just over the coming months. But they're saying that because we're in autumn now, or what Americans would call fall. Doesn't make as much sense here with all of these evergreen trees we have. Not saying we don't have deciduous trees, but a lot of the Australian ones, they keep their leaves on all year round. But anyhow, so it is autumn here, and we're apparently heading for a hot, dry autumn here. Hotter than usual and dry. It's like, yay! Yay! I'll tell you what, we have had the most humid summer I can ever remember. I have never, ever remembered a summer as humid as the one we're having now. Moist. And so this is the ASM flux. And one of the reasons why I particularly like this flux is it hangs around, but it still cleans off okay. So it's it really kind of it responds to heat well. It doesn't all just burn away and disappear. Barely got to use my diesel heater. It's I just feel like you got a real dud of a winter this year, didn't you, Jay? You got like one day of some half decent snow, and then it just left. And I mean, I compare it to the year before. You built a freaking snowman the year before. We were kind of expecting that this summer was going to be hot. We just, all the warning signs were there. I guess the one advantage we have is because it's been so moist, and we've had fairly regular rainfall. The bushfire issue hasn't been as much of a problem here. Has in other parts of Australia, but not here. Because it's been quite dry down in Victoria. Brisbane. Yeah, so Quicksilver Oz is in Brisbane. So, yeah, that's for people who aren't particularly familiar with Australian geography. That's north of where I am. It's on the east coast. Most of the Australia's population is on the east coast. And on the eastern side sort of thing. And does that look crooked? Is it just me? But Queensland is closer to the tropics than we are here, so it obviously has more tropical weather there. It's very common for Queensland to be quite warm. Tropic of Capricorn, isn't it? I think that's the one. Dengue cases are exploding here. There's a very high fever and body pain. That doesn't sound very good. 3-inch snow total all winter. Terrible. Oh, geez. MMMHHH, where are you? Spring here, but previous 3 days were heavy rains and flood warnings were issued. Nobody likes that. Ain't nobody got time for that. Right, so I'm going to just go in and check all of this. Oh, whoa, why is that cap all crooked? This one's sticking up. Why? What's... Oh, that's the one that I put the mask on, I think. No? No, it's not. No, it's not. I don't like the way this is... It's kind of crooked. I don't know why it's crooked. I might whip it off and just have a look underneath. Unfortunately, when you hit the what do you call these things? Tantalum caps, vibranium. When you hit these caps with hot air, they tend to go brown, and they look unsightly. So then you have to replace them. Just trying to figure out why this one didn't end up going on flat. Just want to see if there's... Is it unsightly? Ah, he's alright, I think. I think we can reuse him. It was just sticking up off the board. I just didn't like it. It's no good. Can't have it. How long does it take to learn electronics? Well, the thing is that there are different aspects to it. So my electronics knowledge is minuscule. What I know about electronics, it can fit on the end of a pin. I am more around the kind of I guess in terms of the repairing, a lot of what I do is actually just cleaning up messes. So I'm not necessarily putting much electronics knowledge into play. If you're someone who wants to actually go in and start designing electronics, your own electronics, using, sort of prototyping boards and stuff like that, there's a fair bit to learn and a lot of mathematics. But there are some awesome tools out there. I've never done any beginner's guides to electronics. I've only done soldering because there are people out there that are better qualified to explain electronics than I am. As I say, I know a little bit, but only a little bit. It's like this cap just wants to go crooked. Some people, they just can't be helped. Okay, you're on there now. You're not crooked anymore. What day was it? Not Thursday? I think Thursday here, it was 40 degrees Celsius. So what is that, 106 or 107 or something like that? I'm not sure in the old money. But yeah, it was hot. Laptop, smartphone and motherboard repair. Yeah, I mean, look, there are plenty of websites out there doing that sort of stuff. So you go and have a look. And the best thing to do is just get your hands dirty. Get in there and start doing it. Start trying it out. If you've got some, buy some broken laptops on eBay or something like that and just start seeing if you can repair them. With a lot of the smartphones these days, most of the repairs you're going to end up doing are replacing smashed screens, or the other can, of course, be liquid damage. But a lot of the phones are sealed up these days, so that's not as much. All right, so just going to have a quick look over the work here. Solder. I'm just checking to make sure that I remembered to solder both sides of everything that I put on here. Solder. Solder, 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 solder. Solder, 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 solder. And a good Australian channel for someone who does a lot of that sort of repair is Paul Daniels. He does a lot of that sort of stuff. I made a bit of a mess of these little pads here. I want to neaten them up. So just going to do a bit of this. There we go. They look much better now. So shiny. Well, that's it. It's done. So it's time for this one to go into the ultrasonic cleaner, and then we can test it out and see if we have any problems with this. We're pretty sure we're fine, thanks to Kai, who is obviously not watching anymore, but thanks to Kai, who sent me through an image of the pinout of this CPU. We were able to ascertain that these two pins, one was VCC, the other was ground, and we could see that they were actually connected inside. So we can live without those pins. It should still function fine. So yeah. So anyhow, let me just jump across to the top view now. We'll go to the top camera now that we don't need the microscope anymore. Top view. And we'll just get this out of the way, and we'll bring this down a little bit. Down. That's more than a little bit, but there we go. Crotch cam. And we'll just check the focus. Focus. Oh, it's on autofocus, so you're meant to focus. Meant to focus, you son of a gun. There we go. It's like it's going out of focus. It's focusing on something else. I don't know why. It's sort of in and then it just zips out again. I can manually focus it, thankfully. Like that. Like that. Yeah, so that's what the board looks like. The only difference with, it used to have electrolytic capacitors all along here. Now it has tantalums. And will be interesting to see if it works and whether it blows up or stuff. You know, I mean, I'm hoping it doesn't blow up. This will go into the ultrasonic cleaner to get rid of all this flux. If I get my ultraviolet light, you'll be able to see that this is covered in flux. The flux that I use has a UV tracer on it, which allows me to see when it's still on the board. You get to see all the residue. And so once this has been in the ultrasonic cleaner, that'll all be gone. You could, of course, just clean it with some alcohol and a toothbrush, but that is slow going. Very slow going. You can barely see that I've done anything. And then I will hopefully test this. I am actually going to test it. I originally was sort of like, no, I'm not even going to bother testing it. But I've got a 7300, I think it's a 7300 up in the house. And I'm figuring that what I will do is I will, I'll stick it in there. I will download the software off the Macintosh Garden. So Macintosh Garden has all the software for these. I think I need to have System 8, which I don't think I currently have installed there, but I can definitely install it. I think I've got 9 on there. Wonder if it works with 9. Hope so. We'll see. So I missed a bunch of chat there. Isn't VCC used to set clock speed? No, so VCC is typically the terminology used for voltage in. So when I'm not sure what the CC stands for, but it's just the voltage in. So when you're looking at a board that has like a power rail and a power rail, generally they'll refer to that power rail as VCC. So do they have any sort of competition in electronic repair? Not that I'm aware of. Is the lens dirty? Well, maybe. I'm really looking forward. As soon as I finish this stream, I'm actually going to try the other arm that I got. I have to mount it up there because I can't mount it down here because then it'll get in the way of the microscope. So I've got to mount it up there, and I'm hoping it's got enough flex in it that I can bring it down like this. But it's much easier to move than this thing. This thing's a real cow to move. I didn't know it was going to be a cow to move, but it is. Yep, look at these tants. Gotta love them. It's likely getting confused because it's using edge detection. Possibly. Hello, Paul. Yeah, sorry about that. I mean, I started 2 hours and 47 minutes ago, thereabouts. And it ended up actually taking me a lot longer to do than I thought. This has 19 capacitors on it, so I knew it was going to take a while to recap. But we found some mangled pins on the CPU here. This is the 5x86C CPU. And they were mangled here. And when I tried to straighten them out, they actually fell off. But then we found out that we can run this without those 2 pins. Well, we hope so anyway. And that took a really long time because I had to take that chip off and then see if I could repair the pins, which I couldn't, and then put it back on again. I thought I'd better check the other side because it's a very, very heavily populated board, as you can see. On this, even on this side, we've got ICs aplenty. Creative Tech 94, Vibra 16S. I wonder what that is. And then we've got these weird old connectors here. I've got no idea what these go to. This one says, so that one's a DB15. What? Does it, what? It's got a thing, it says video. I don't know what sort of video that is. So you're telling me this comes out, the video comes out of this? It doesn't come out of the computer? Because I don't have a cable for this, so I'm not going to be able to test it. I don't know. So does it have a separate... I don't know. What? How does it work? Sound Blaster 16. Voltage Common Collector. I'm glad someone is looking these things up. It's a pass-through cable. Very... Oh, okay. Unobtainium. Okay, so can I still use this card and show the PC's video on the Mac video output? Because if I can't do that, I can't test this card. Really. So... Fairly sure you can. Fairly sure I can watch the video? Okay, cool. Pleased to hear that, Max. You should know this is yours. This is Max's, by the way. Yeah. So anyhow, this is now going to get cleaned. Then I'm going to plug it in and see what happens and see if it works and things. There's wires and cables and there's these cables and wires and I don't know. Do these go to the CD or audio or sound? I don't know. I'm hoping it'll all look clear. I am going to do a bit of a hunt to see if I can find the documentation for this as well, because I'm sure it's out there. I can't make you a Samish. This is, I think, a 100 megahertz. This one, so 100 megahertz 586. Stupid thing. I haven't had breakfast. Or lunch. I should probably go eat something before my blood sugar drops. Okay, well, my workbench is messy again. So that's good. I'm going to get this, put all of the parts together here so I don't lose anything. So this has got some adhesive. I don't know if I'll be able to reuse that adhesive, but this is the what was holding the heatsink onto the CPU. CP, wow. Bruce can be hangry. So what time is it? 2 yeah, and I've got to go out and do shopping. I'm going to have chicken schnitty for dinner tonight, or what Americans call breaded chicken. Schnitty! We're having schnitty. Oh, geez, yeah, it's warming up now. And I'll probably make a mushroom sauce to go with that. Creamy mushroom sauce, beautiful. And I might serve it with some fries or chips, as we call them here. Looking forward to that. And I do need to clean the house too, it's a mess. Schnitty. Alright. Okay, so if I get a chance to try this out today, I will sort of post about it probably on Facebook to say what the results were. I'll see how it goes. So I've got other things to do. I don't know if I'll be able to do that. I've got a laptop to put together. A guy sent me a laptop ages ago to repair it. When I opened it up, the damage was so, what's the word, bad. There was another word I was looking for, but it didn't come in time, so I just chose bad. The damage was so bad that I couldn't get any replacement parts to fix it. But the laptop still works, it's just it doesn't have a display, so it can be used as a headless. So I think they want that back as a headless, and I promised to send it to them ages ago. But I've got to put it back together, so I'll do that a little bit later in the day. Steve, are you streaming? You going to stream? Steve streaming? Okay, excellent. No stream. So you're just stuck with me. So, I think that's probably long enough. We did achieve something. Recap this thing. So, it's a good day, really. So, a big thank you to everyone for tuning in today. I do appreciate it. Thanks for keeping me company. There were lots of super chats today, so I say thank you very much for that. This is it kind of for the main recapping that I have at the moment. I've got some repair work to do, but not recapping, and so I will probably, the next one will probably be a kit building live stream. I think the next ones I said I would do would be these wacky glasses, because I think I think everyone's waited long enough. I know that people want to get these, so I'm going to do a kit building stream. I've got a kit for a little keyboard as well, a little piano keyboard thingy. So I'll probably do a kit building live stream next, and then of course I've got a lot of repairs to do. I've got computers that require the thoughtful diagnostic stuff, which I tend not to live stream. So yeah, so. If the pins are gone, could you Dremel the epoxy away and solder on some jumper wires? Yes, you absolutely could, but we don't need to, as it turns out. So these pins will be, will not be missed. They will not be missed, not missed pins. So, but yes, you can absolutely do that. And I have done that before, and I've done that before in some live streams, I think. I might have even done it in some pre-recorded videos, but I've definitely done it in some live streams. I've got a very fine little engravery thing that I just dig out the plastic, and then you expose enough of the copper to then just get something soldered onto the top of that. And I've done that repair a few times, and it works fine. You just got to make sure you get lots of stuff painted on it, lots of UV mask on top to give it some protection so it doesn't fall apart. All right. Finished building my time machine so I can join the stream at the start. Yes, well, if you don't want to go to the bother of the time machine, you can just start watching from the beginning again, but then you won't be able to participate in the chat. Okay, so once again, thank you everyone. Thank you for joining. Thank you for keeping me company as usual. Thank you for all the super chats. Thank you for keeping the chat lively. It's been a really fun one today with lots and lots of happening chat. We've talked about all sorts of things. Some things important, some things just silly. So have a good one, everyone. Good day, night, morning, wherever, whatever it happens to be in your part of the world. And I hope to see you at the next one. So, bye-bye.